Hola, everyone, and welcome to Open. I'm Rhina Valentin, your hosty Café con Leche every Friday. Here's what's coming up in today's show. First up, we're joined by Destination Tomorrow's Chief Strategy Officer, Sage Rivera, as we celebrate Bronx Pride 2025. After that, we're joined by Bronx Summer Jam as they discuss their 4th annual music celebration filled with culture, food, and good summer vibes. And later on in the show, we're joined by Unique's founder, Elias Gonzalez, as he shares his faith-based creative brand and movement that equips the next generation of artists. And lastly, our Open Artist Spotlight shines on spoken word and visual artists Isaac is me with a performance at the end of the show. So sit back y prepárate. All this and more is headed your way because now we are officially open. Hey everyone, welcome to Open. I'm Rhina Valentin, your host, Café con Leche, for the next hour with the musical stylings of Bronx Summer Jam's featured artist, Adrian Reed, who will be playing us in and out of today's show. And, you know, as always, we invite you to get social with us online. Tweet us and follow us on Instagram at BronxNet TV or like us on Facebook at Open BronxNet Television. And, of course, don't forget while you're there, follow moi on FB, Instagram, Insta Stories, Threads, and LinkedIn at Rhina Valentin. Happy Pride, mi gente. That's right. We kick off today welcoming back Destination Tomorrow, an organization with a mission to hold space for young people to grow, learn, and flourish regardless of their sexual identity or gender expression. And bueno, Bronx Pride is here. And to share this year's events and activities, we welcome back and in studio Destination Tomorrow's Strategy Officer, Sage Rivera. Hello and welcome, Sage.
How you doing? Happy to be back.
Yeah,
Thank you for having us.
Welcome back. It's our absolute honor to have you back sharing all the wonderful, magnificent stuff that you guys host and present and as well as the expansion. I'm really excited to talk about this. So
absolutely.
First, you know, I know I've interviewed you in different variations.
That's right. That's right. We got all flavors here.
I love that.
All for our great borough. Yep.
Yeah. And I mean, I've also interviewed you via virtual, and then I had interviewed you as Vivica.
Yes, that's right.
And then now you're back as Sage.
Yes.
And I hope you don't mind that I mentioned that to our audience because
no, it's all good.
Because for me, that's what it looks like when we talk about inclusivity, really.
Absolutely, absolutely. Look, we as human beings come in all different kinds of flavors. I'm here rocking a shirt my uncle made me.
That's right.
And
talk about those cookies.
Yeah, and it's just like, you know, I identified very much with the indigenous upbringings of my Latino side, and I identify as a two-spirited person. So you got one side of the spirit, here's the other side, and all Bronx. So I'm just happy to be here representing the diversity that we have in our beautiful city and culture and world.
And how lovely is that for you to lead in this this space of fully self-expressed, right? Or being fully self-expressed, I should say, of just self-expression in all its forms.
I mean, it's awesome because there are so many things in our various upbringings that are made to sometimes put us in different boxes, and to be able to flourish in a way to understand that the things that the things and the people that I love and the things and the way that I want to express myself are actually ways that are true to, my history, and other people feel the same way, is definitely opens up the world to infinite possibilities.
And I'm sure it plays a nice role in your mental wellness.
Absolutely,
Right? Or a
yeah.
contributing role, not just a nice role, a contributing role,
because we
right?
all need that.
Yes,
yeah.
we absolutely all need that. And so let's talk about Destination Tomorrow, because you've
Gotcha.
been actively involved there.
Yes.
And this is why I'm saying leading in a space, because you offer so many programs.
Absolutely. We are the Bronx's LGBTQ Center, in that we offer a plethora of programs that are based in a variety of tracks. I like to say our support services track, which is our one-on-one services, our educational track, where people can come get their high school diploma, workshops. We offer technical assistance for GSAs and schools all over. And then we have our culture and advocacy track, where we do events and groups and things like that. And then we have our prevention and outreach, where we go out into the community, either through tabling or putting on various social gatherings. It's been a long week of social gatherings, and some more to go.
Right, because we got to close out the month with a bang.
That's right.
It's the entire
Awesome.
month of June.
Exactly.
And so, but before we go into all the festivities that you've already hosted, and I'm saying Destination Tomorrow, not you, right? Because I mean,
Look, it's me and a magnificent team. Yeah. Absolutely.
That's what's up. And so I do want to talk to our audience about the Atlanta location and the DC. You don't really have to go into full detail, but I think it's important that they understand that this particular center has now been replicated and put into other cities.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, if you think of various places like, Boys and Girls Club or things like that, they're, these spaces are all wonderful. I named that because these spaces are nationwide, and what we felt is that our community deserves a safe space for them to gather, be themselves, and flourish in various places as well. We found that need in DC, and we found that need in Atlanta, and the Bronx space model became such a wonderful standard that we were able to replicate that in those amazing cities. So we're flourishing there, and it's all through a seed planted right here.
That's what's up. That's why, the Bronx is the birthplace of a lot of things.
Exactly.
And that's why you're here, because we got to make sure it goes on record here.
No, absolutely. And, the world is the limit. We're all over the place. We've been able to do work also, in Puerto Rico, in DR, and even India. So, watch out.
Well, I like that you mentioned Puerto Rico, and I like that you're wearing the coquille. And for those who are not aware, we have an issue with the coquilles in Puerto Rico, where they're trying to silence them. And when I say silence them, they're trying to poison our coquilles to be quiet. Like, that's part of our ancestry, like you said. And it's the music, it's the lullaby that I grew up listening to in the summer to go to sleep. So if you don't like cookies, don't go to Puerto Rico. That's it, right?
Period. Period.
It's that simple.
Yeah, that's it.
Si no te gusta, don't go. But no, we're here to talk about
Look,
no, but just show them your tea again, because I just love that it's pride, and it's pride, and it has double significance.
Yes, and they both got the flor de maga, so you know what's going on.
Yeah, eso. So, all right, so it's been a week of festivities, and from what I understand, there's more. Do you want to share a little bit about what has already occurred?
Yeah, so it's been amazing. Shout out to everyone in Norwood. We had Pride at Norwood last Sunday, and then we threw a ball on the oldest yet newest bridge in New York City. Our amazing
High Bridge.
Yes, exactly. So our amazing councilwomen on both sides, Othea Stevens and Carmen de la Rosa, they get together every year and they throw this amazing ball in which we turn that long bridge into New York City's longest runway.
Nice.
And it was amazing. And we got garnered support from our borough presidents on both sides, Mark Levine and Vanessa L. Gibson. And yeah, the kids were out there voguing, doing the runway, showing off the face, and beautiful, beautiful time. Then just yesterday at the Bronx Brewery, we had the Miss Bronx Pride brewery pageant in which people come out and represent different neighborhoods. Last year, shout out Miss Hunts Point won. This year, we have a Miss Wakefield, we have a Miss Concourse, we have a Miss Soundview. I think we have a Miss, we had a Miss City Island too. And look, they all came out, they all showed out. And
that is dope. That is dope. Okay, wait. I need to just take that in because I was like, I didn't realize that they're identified by certain sectors within the Bronx.
Yes.
That's dope.
Yeah, so yeah, the girls came out, they really showed off, and the winner is amazing, and we look forward for a beautiful year for them and all that's in store with Bronx.
And then there's more. Right?
And then there's
we'll
more.
congratulate that person, right, before we move on. But there's more. And then the reason we're sharing all of this is to just invite you all to be a part of this community, right? Because, again, going back to we must celebrate each other in all our forms. And I must say the LGBTQIA community knows how to party.
I mean,
okay?
yeah, like we get it together, like no doubt, no, basically because there's a lot, especially in the current climate that we're in. There are a lot of things, forces at work that are doing a lot of different things that affect us really deeply.
Yes.
Like, I'm out here in fatigue because it's just like I need the community to be reminded that, you know, we're not new to this, you know, we are true to this. And we've been through things like this and worse before, and we will overcome.
Oh my God. So in case they're not getting that, you know, lo que está diciendo es que the warrior spirit is out.
Ya tú sabes.
Yeah. So before we run out of time, let's talk about the event, June 21st, 22nd, and the 30th, because we're running out of time.
Gotcha.
And I want to make sure we get it in.
No doubt. So I want to invite everybody to come out to the Bronx Pride Festival, okay, on Westchester Avenue between Brook and Bergen. We have an amazing time with food vendors, community resources, and entertainment. Headlining, we got the amazing R&B diva Nivea, along with freestyle diva Rhina, and from RuPaul's Drag Race on TV right now, Miss Olivia Lux. So it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful time. The day starts off with a wonderful march from Bronx Borough Hall on 161st and Grand Concourse, all the way to the festival on Westchester and 3rd. So we invite all the community there to joy and break bread and have a little fun with us.
So that's June 21st. Then on Sunday, June 22nd.
After all the festivities, come on out and relax with us in Wave Hill, in Wave Hill Gardens. We're going to have a beautiful day of pride from 2 to 6 p.m. in which there'll be some dance performances themed after the dance form whacking.
Right,
so
which most people consider vogue, but we know that the term is actually whacking, right?
It's called whacking, and it's awesome. It's going to have a beautiful like disco 70s music vibe, so we invite all people to come out. And then on the 30th, we're going to have Bronx LGBTQ prom. So for those who feel they have had limitations in being able to express themselves in a standard prom
setting, right?
Yes.
Right, in a standard prom. I like that.
Gotcha.
Right. This is the fully self-expressed prom.
That's right. So on the 30th, people are invited to come out, and you know you can get everything through our social media or our website. More details on all these events, but all are welcome.
All are welcome. Well, we thank you for bringing it here to us here on Open every year, and yeah, we're here for it. We're here for it. Estamos en la lucha together.
Thank you. Thank you.
Because, you know, together we are stronger.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And power to the people.
We will find our way together.
Yes, we shall. Pa'lante, siempre pa'lante. All right, you guys, Sage Rivera. Once again, Destination Tomorrow's Chief Strategy Officer. And also, once again, as a reminder, the Bronx Pride Festival 2025 is set to take place on Saturday, June 21st from 12 to 6 p.m. at Westchester Ave between Brook and Bergen Avenue. And for more information on all of the events that are coming up, be sure to visit destinationtomorrow.org. All right, stay tuned. There's more Open when we return.
What's up, creative family? Discover your voice with BronxNet Community Media classes. Are you ready to bring your ideas to life? At BronxNet, we offer television production classes for community members ages 18 and over, empowering you to share your vision with the world. Get certified in field production, in-studio production, and our new exciting addition, podcast production. Once certified, you can create your own show to air on one of our 6 TV channels. It all starts with our free Unleash Your Ideas Masterclass, designed to help you plan your show idea and set you up for success on your production journey. This class is offered at the beginning of each month for your convenience. Our dedicated BronxNet team is here to support, encourage, and uplift you every step of the way. Join us and become a part of the creative force that engages and inspires the Bronx community and beyond. Sign up today and start your media journey with BronxNet. Visit bronxnet.org/education to learn more and register. Let's create something amazing together.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Open. You're listening to the sounds of Adrian Reed, and that just makes me so happy. So we're here now to introduce the Bronx Summer Jam, which Adrian is a part of, and it's now in its 4th year, and they continue to showcase emerging artists and DJs that are sure to be the new sounds of the season. And rich in culture, Bronx Summer Jam offers a diverse lineup of local talent, each with their own artistry style. And joining us to share more, we welcome back to Open Bronx Summer Jam's co-founder, Fernando Michael, and featured artist Adrian Reed, who's playing us in and out all day today. Yay!
It's great to be back.
Welcome
Thank you so
back.
much.
Likewise, thank you, Rhina.
Thank you. Thank you both for being here, and thank you both for just your generosity.
Yeah.
I want to start with you, Fernando, because you've
Yeah.
sent so many artists our way.
I'm
And
happy.
I know we're here to talk about the festival, but I want to acknowledge you and the work that you're
Thank
doing
you.
for the
I
artists.
appreciate that. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
And I love the artists that you send our way, Adrian included. Adrian included, right?
Yeah, shout out to this guy right here.
Yeah, because, you know, Richie,
Picasso, yeah.
well, isn't it Richie Yo-Yo's?
Richie Yo-Yo, Picasso, whatever you
Okay.
prefer.
Okay.
Incredible.
Right, but it's unique.
Yes.
For some reason, I'm like, oh yeah, I know Fernando's telling them they have something different.
Absolutely. I think that's something that's beautiful about our borough, especially. Everyone's so unique. Everyone has their own talent, whether it's music, artistry, visual mediums, regardless. Everyone has something special. And I'm just happy to work with people like Adrian, like Richie, to help really showcase that talent.
So how do you choose your talent? Right? Like, do you scout? Do they find you? Like, how does that work?
It's a blessing to be a little bit of both. We do scout. We look out for any artists that are emerging, that are up and coming within the Bronx, within the region. But we also have artists, especially this year as our 4th year, coming to us directly. How can we be a part of this? How can we perform? So we kind of sort through that. We construct a lineup that makes sense, that works for this year, and we present it as such.
And so I was able to see a few clips from last year's Bronx Summer Jam, and we're so happy to have you back, Adrian.
Gracias. It's a joy to be here. I love being here with you guys.
Yeah, well, I already told you, and I will say it on air, on record. It's just a matter of time for you. Yes, I know. Yes, put it up there, because the truth is that you have something very unique and special, and we're so excited that you're even chosen to just go with the flow and play us in and out today, as a little taste of what Bronx Summer Jam entails, right?
Yes.
And so what's it like for you working together with these individuals?
Well, I've known Fernando for about 14 years now. I was at one of his very first shows when he was first starting this out, and it's a pleasure and a joy to see how far this has come, and to be able to participate in something that is going to elevate the Bronx so much, because Bronx Summer Jam is, I've been to Bronx Summer Jam. It's a place where people can come with their families, with their friends, and it's not just about the music or the people. It's about the whole thing. So
Right.
it's an entire experience. So it's an honor, honestly, to be a part of that. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So this is your first year performing.
Performing,
in
yes,
it.
yeah. When I found
Beautiful.
out, I was like overjoyed. 'Cause like I said, I've been to Bronx Summer Jam, and it's an incredible event. So to be able to also perform there and add value to that is tremendous.
Yeah, and so I want to just talk a little bit about your partnership with DJ Mike,
Yeah.
because I know he's in here today. But I want them to understand what partnerships look like, because you work in different sectors, and that's how you were able to come together and create
Yeah.
this. And if I'm not mistaken, you have two different stages.
Correct,
Right?
yes, yeah.
One for the artists, the other one for the DJs.
DJs,
Yeah. So talk about that.
Yeah, we've been working with DJ Mike and Sounds and Sirens for 6-7 years now. We work in tandem in terms of production, in terms of booking the artists, the media, the marketing. But DJ Mike has that foundation in terms of engineering, the audio, the visual, the light show. He really brings a certain element to the Bronx, to Bronx Summer Jam, that very few other organizations have. So to combine our talents with media, marketing, outreach, and artist management with his production style, it brings something truly unique.
And so what is going to be different this year from last year?
We have a brand new slew of artists, obviously Adrian as well.
Right.
New DJs appearing, and we're also actually presenting, finally, we're up for Ponce Bank's Best of the Bronx.
I saw that.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
yeah,
I know
it's
you're
incredible.
nominated,
Yes.
but that's pretty cool. I've
Yeah.
never seen a festival be recognized as the best event of the
Best
Bronx?
annual event.
Best
Yeah.
annual event of the
Yeah.
Bronx, and you're only in your 4th year.
Our 4th year, yeah. And it's completely DIY. We do have some minor sponsors from Bronx Music Heritage Center, the Bronx Music Hall, but ultimately we all do the production, the engineering, the setup, the tear down, everything is by us, ourselves. So it's blood, sweat, and tears into this production.
And so why is it so important for you guys to execute this every single year?
It's something about building a community. It's something about building a legacy for music, for organizations, for the culture. Adrian and I were both raised in the Bronx Underground, the local music scene, and to really keep that community flourishing every year, helping us build something to support the music scene here is important. And I think it's something that needs to be here no matter what, whether it's us or other organizations. We just want to make that community profound and long-lasting.
And so one of the things I love about you is that you have this fusion that kind of loans itself to a little bit of rock, a little bit of
Reggaeton.
reggaeton, and you go back and forth with the English and the Spanish. What are you going to be presenting this year that is going to, I guess, blend with the fusion that's created within the entire festival, which we're going to get into after?
So something that happened shortly after I was on the show last time, I was super inspired by all the things that are happening here in the Bronx. And I actually wrote a song for the Bronx, about the Bronx, to try to capture all the amazing things that are happening here and part of the Bronx history. And I'm going to be performing that at the Bronx Summer Jam. It's a song I called El Bronx. I was also very inspired by Bad Bunny's latest album, which he dedicated to Puerto Rico, and all that, along with me realizing that, like Fernando said, the community is where it's at, and highlighting your community. And I wrote that song, and I'm going to be performing at a Bronx Summer Jam, so very excited.
I know. We're going to share a little verse of it, too.
Bonito.
But first, we're going to have Fernando share the mezcla que tiene, porque hay un sancocho there. I mean, it's a serious sancocho.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something that we love to do because, again, the Bronx is so varied. Everyone's so unique here. We don't like to have one genre, especially at Bronx Summer Jam. We have rock, we have alternative, EDM DJs, hip hop, rap, soul fusion, reggaeton, alternative rock. It really showcases what the borough is about. There's so many different communities, demographics here, and interests. So bringing all that together creates the community that we're looking to foster. It's just important for us to be diverse.
And when we say diverse, we mean diverse not just in culture, in flavor, and or maybe being drawn to a certain style,
Absolutely.
right? A certain genre, not necessarily looking like you belong, if that even,
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, that's one of the things we're also dismantling.
Absolutely. It's sad, especially, us growing up, alternative Latinos, it's a hard subculture for us to be a part of, but we embrace it. It's who we are. It's what we're about. And, let's highlight that. Let's showcase that.
And so I know we're going to be showing some images with regards to like the communal sense of it. So walk us through what people should expect when they're there, because when I hear 2 stages, I go, well, how do they manage that if they're happening simultaneously, sound-wise?
Yeah, and it's a beautiful thing. Again, major kudos to DJ Mike and Sounds and Sirens. We have 2 tents. We have 1 stage with the full band setup, the full drum kit, amps, everything. And we have another tent simultaneously nearby with the DJ stage and all of that production there as well. So in between sets, you have DJs, you have artists performing on one side, but all of it is free, open to the community. Pull up a chair, pull up a blanket, just chill, relax, you have good music there.
So basically, it's like you sit in the middle,
That's right.
or what? Right, from what I saw,
Yeah.
right? Because it's on grass, right? It's in a park,
That's
which
right.
that's the other
Open to
benefit.
all, yeah.
Yes, it's the benefit of being in nature
Yes.
and grounding yourself with the
Absolutely.
grass and surrounding yourself with fresh air and the trees, and don't get me started. We need to exercise that. We need to exercise that more.
We do, yeah.
Just because we're a metropolitan, we definitely need to take advantage of
Yeah.
the parks, because
Absolutely.
they're in essence our backyards, right?
Lo sabe, yeah.
Yeah, right? So to be able to sit there and just go from here to here, I mean, without comparing it to Woodstock, but I could see it growing into that, like
Yeah.
its own version of that.
Absolutely. And early on when we first started this, we spoke about, should we have it at a venue? Should we have it at some other location? The park really is the most communal spot for it. You're within nature, you're in the Bronx, but you're also relaxing. You're on the grass, you're enjoying music, the trees and everything. It's much more comfortable, and it's much more better way to enjoy the music there.
And so, how long is it? From what time?
So it'll be tomorrow from 12 to 7.
Right.
And we are working with a couple organizations afterwards. Emo Night BX will be working with the after party there. So anybody who comes to Bronx Summer Jam, let's collaborate with them. We'll bring them over to Bronx Emo Night, and we'll have a good time. We'll continue the music, and we'll continue the community.
That's what it's about, right?
Yeah.
Collaboration. Kind of like what we're doing today, right? Just like, if we came with his guitar,
Ya
like,
lo
Perfect.
play, all right? So
Perfect
let's do
timing.
the song before we go to break.
Ya tú sabes, okay,
Yeah,
so,
the Bronx-
pero you gotta do it with me, okay?
Go for
You gotta
it.
do it with me too.
Okay,
Do the
cool.
chorus,
We're
okay?
gonna
Dice
do it
así.
together, all 3 of us.
Ready? Yo soy del Bronx, Nueva York. Yo soy del Bronx, Nueva York. Yo soy del Bronx, Nueva York. Y donde vaya se lo digo así, ey. Yo soy del Bronx, Nueva York. Yo soy del Bronx, Nueva York. Yo soy del Bronx, Nueva York. Y en inglés ahora, en English. I'm from the Bronx, New York. I'm from the Bronx, New York. I'm from the Bronx, New York. And where I go, I'ma let them know that I'm from the Bronx, New York. I'm from the Bronx, New York. I'm from the Bronx, New York. And where I go, I'ma let them know. Listen.
Adrian Reed, everybody. Woo, we're going to have more of Adrian throughout the day. Thank you so much
Thank you.
for
Gracias,
bringing
gracias.
it here to us, and congratulations on your 4th year. Once again, Fernando Michael, founder, or co-founder, I should say, of Bronx Summer Jam, and Adrian Reed, one of the featured artists, and our artist for today. Once again, the Bronx Summer Jam 2025 is set to take place Saturday, June 21st between 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. at Oscar Camras Memorial Mall, located at 2141 Bronx Park East. And for more information, you can visit BronxSummerJam.com. All right, stay tuned. There's more open when we return after the break, Adrian. Woo.
Dale.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Open. We welcome our next guest, a Christian creative entrepreneur and founder of Unique, a faith-based creative brand and movement that equips the next generation of artists, dreamers, and doers. And through custom apparel, powerful messaging, and real-world community support, Unique uplifts creatives to embrace their gifts and keep God first. And here to share more is Christian creative entrepreneur and Unique's founder, Elias Gonzalez. Hello,
Hello,
Elias.
hello, hello.
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
I love this. I love this. I love this. Love, love, love.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's first start off with why it's so important for you to identify first and foremost as Christian based.
Well, I grew up in the church. My parents raised me up in the Bible, and so I believe in Jesus, and that's what I've always been about. And my faith has really grounded me throughout my life, and so that's part of who I am. So I cannot let that go.
I think it's beautiful because I don't really hear the people reference themselves as Christian creatives, right? And then there's the mission at hand, right? And so I'm assuming that you're just allowing yourself to be the messenger, right? Because this is your field,
right?
But you've chosen to be specific about the messaging.
Yeah, everything that has come out through the apparel has been because of something that has happened in my life or a season that I'm going through. And so, for example, the pandemic really kick-started the opportunity to really share powerful messages on apparel that I think was just encouraging me, honestly, to get through the pandemic and those around me. Specifically, I've always been connected to creatives, and so I also have seen that these messages are encouraging those creatives that are struggling to take that next step and wanting to move out. And so my hope is that the messaging and through apparel and through the events that I've partnered with, give them that opportunity to feel encouraged to step out.
Right. Not only step out, like I would say if I see somebody wearing something like this, then it almost becomes like a language of the world is what we call it, right? I don't know if you've read the book The Alchemist, but in the book The Alchemist, they talk about the language of the world, where you receive messages, right? Be messages from God, in the sense of like, oh, okay, that's what I need to be told today. Hence,
Yeah, and so
quitting is not an option.
Exactly. So quitting is not an option was something that, again, I thought about honestly giving up the brand of Unique, and this came up, and I was like, wow, this is a sign for me. And so, yeah, we do get those messages. We do get those signs. I actually was just coming in, and someone saw the shirt that I was wearing today and was really impacted. And I was telling the producer so this one,
everybody.
And I'll show it here too.
Okay. So
this is the one here. Yeah. So keep God first. And it has a couple of different messages talking about starting your day with Jesus, trusting in God, talking to him every day, love God, love people. And these are core messages to my faith, but also I think that get people through the day to really kind of go about having a positive day, right? Mental health matters, the purpose of this one.
Okay, yeah, so I think we are ready. So we're up to this one now?
Yeah. And then mental health matters. This one was a big focus for me was to highlight the fact that I was going to take therapy. And I went to one-on-one therapy after my son was born because I felt that it was really important to manage certain things that I need to deal with. And so this was something that I've encouraged people to really consider with now being, Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, really wanting to encourage men to go out, speak to someone, get that support. It's too vital to go about your day. You need to have care for your mental health.
And this is another rendition of it?
Yeah, and so I have over the time that I've done it.
I just want to look at it because I love that you're talking about mental health awareness. We are mental health awareness advocates. We encourage everyone to seek help if you feel any kind of way, right? And so the fact that you're also speaking to it based on, once again, Father's Day just passed and so forth. And with men, I want to say there's something, I appreciate your transparency.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank you.
And there's nothing wrong.
No, not at all.
As a matter of fact, that's the direction to head in.
It's true power, I think, when you are vulnerable enough and be able to speak up about what you're going through, because then you can go through it and deal with it, and you're helping other people. I have another one.
I'm holding this one up only because I wanted to know why there's no vowels.
That one's for you, by the way.
Oh, this is mine. Oh, look at that. I picked the one that is for me. All right.
So the purpose of not kind of putting any particular vowels in it, it was honestly just a creative twist to it.
Okay.
The fact of it being a little bit of a twist is just because it's not something that's so linear. It's not straight. It's constantly something that folks are dealing with in all different ways, and you're going to go through seasons of it that you're going to address certain things. If I could show this one too, real
Yes,
quick.
of course.
So this one, after going through mental health, going through therapy for a while. Just because you start going through therapy doesn't mean things are going to be okay right away.
Right.
But while you're going through things, you have to still kind of remind yourself that everything is fine, as shaky as it is.
Right.
And so that was the purpose behind this. And really nice story I just got from someone that purchased this shirt was that they told me through Instagram, they said, this shirt saved my life. And it gets me emotional thinking about it because he said he was going through a dark place during the pandemic and he was really considering, unfortunately, doing things that were harming him. And so he felt like this was really giving him to stay around and keep going on. And so that's the encouraging messages that I get why I keep doing this, because it's not just helping me, it's helping others.
That's beautiful, especially walking around wearing it, right? Because then the message is getting passed on. And then I also wanted to show everybody how you spell unique, right? Because it's clever, UNYC as well.
Yeah,
but
so
it's pronounced unique.
Correct, and I'm born and raised from the Bronx. I'm actually an alumni from Lehman College. I even did an internship here with BronxNet, and so I'm born and raised from the Bronx. I love it. I'm part of New York, and so there's creatives in New York that I want to really encourage and support, and that's where the brand Unique came from.
Okay, so before we go, let's talk about the Heaven Made, because I think we spoke about every other message, but we did. Oh no,
we have a couple right there.
Oh, we have other ones. Let's do it. We have the time.
Yeah. So made in His image. So this again, as a Christian, I understand and recognize that we are all made in God's image, and so I wanted to encourage people.
I'm going to mess up the table.
No, go
I
ahead.
can't
That's
help
the point
myself,
of it.
right?
That's the
I'm
point
like, wait
of
a minute, we've got colors.
We actually have some youth T-shirts too. So for the kids, because we want to encourage people, you are created in God's image, and so I don't shy away from letting anyone know that. I believe that you're being created with unique gifts, and so I want to encourage people and remind people that you are made in God's image. You have gifts, and whether you do anything that's creative in your mind, I hope that this encourages people to do that. And it's a nice twist, a nice creative design. Shout out to Michelle K Graphics that helped with that creative design there.
I love this. I'm like, I want one of these. No, because I think I'm a teeny popper, Imagine me wearing a toto apretado.
Well, again, the purpose of the different colors, I want to shout out to my wife, who definitely helps me come up with some of the colors, because I'm not a very fashion-forward individual.
Let's
all
show
of these
this one
different
as well,
styles,
this is a girly color. I mean, men can wear it too, but this is like definitely
honestly,
something.
that's my favorite color, though.
Oh, nice.
That's my favorite style.
So there you go.
I don't shy away from wearing that one.
All right, so
but yeah,
gender
we have
neutral.
this one. Yeah, so again, this is just a lot of different color to go based on the style
of the... And then we have the red and white.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, so a lot of good for you. And then, we do have, I think we have a hoodie here. I'll show you this one.
Oh, you have hoodies too.
Yeah, we do have hoodies.
I mean, it is summer now, but...
Listen, I just coming over here, I saw a lot of people wearing hoodies. You never know. New York weather, you never know.
Yeah,
but this is...
Facts.
A hoodie as well. And, kind of get some stylish, this is no drawstring, nice, like, oversized, comfortable, relaxed fit.
Okay,
Yep.
So it's quitting is
not an option
in the front,
and quitting
then
is not an option in the
oversized to remind people that it's really not an option, right?
And we see a lot of people, like one of the guests on the show today, Fernando, he wears this a lot at a gym, and then he gets messages a lot when people are being encouraged watching him work out, and sometimes even just at the gym, that is a real motivational push for folks.
Are you telling me our guests are associated with each other as well?
Yeah,
How amazing is that? I love it. That's what you call Bronx familia.
Yeah.
Right? Because we're all helping each other. I know I'm gonna.
You're trying to. I'm like you fold. I don't know. If we're gonna fold, you could fold. You're good. Don't worry.
No.
Do not worry.
You know what it is? I wanted to show everybody the different colors.
Yeah, no problem. I appreciate it.
I think the colors is where it's at, right?
Yeah, the colors are just, again, this is our classic tee. This is what I started out with. And then
Quitting
it's
is
kind
not an
of, it's
option.
evolved into different colors. One, because this is a very soft quality feel. And yeah, it's just, I have the opportunity to print these because I co-own a print shop as well.
Right, that's what I was sharing at the beginning,
so the
right?
screen
Because
print
you do
company,
screen printing,
so we
right?
print for all types of businesses and brands out here in New York. And so I have the fortunate opportunity to be able to do all this at the same time. And we serve a lot of people in the city with this type of service as well. So this a little bit does a bunch of ways to connect and build a community.
Yeah, it absolutely does. And not only that, you're contributing to our society in a way where there's communication being made without there having to be a verbal exchange.
Yeah, I did events recently where just someone walking by, they saw something and literally started tearing up because they were going through a hard time, and it allowed me to open up with them. They didn't even buy anything. I ended up giving them something for free because at the end of the day, this is not so much about making a lot of money. This is about encouragement. This is about supporting people. This is about helping people when they're in a dark place sometimes and really letting them come out. And so sometimes I'll just get someone walking by and the message is enough to get them through the day. And so that's my hope.
Yeah, well, I think you're doing a great job, and we're so glad to present it to our viewers because guess what? We are with you in recognizing mental health matters.
Yes, thank you.
It really does. So thank you once again for bringing your messaging in this form. And for anybody who's interested in this apparel, you can, well, first of all, let me thank Elias Gonzalez for being here. And once again, as we opened up, Elias is, he identifies as a Christian creative entrepreneur, and he's Unique's founder. And if you're interested in any of these teas and learning more, you can visit iamunique.org. iamunique.org. I think it's so important for all of us to recognize who we are to each other. So on that note, I say thank you again for making it your business to be a messenger through other people.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I think this is clever.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you for bringing it here.
Thank you,
Once
thank
again, iamunique.org. Stay tuned because our Open Artist Spotlight is coming up next.
All right.
No queremos tu peso. I'm from the Bronx, New York, and I ain't proud of it, cause everything I do inside of it. Cause there's a history here that you don't know. We brought the salsa, hip hop, and dembo. And I don't care what you saw on the news. Don't you know they do that for the views? Cause we got the energy, yeah, we got the energy. And everywhere I go, I let them know that. Toda mi gente del Bronx va a tirar pa'lante. Mi gente del Bronx va a tirar pa'lante. Mi gente del Bronx va a tirar pa'lante. Y donde vaya se lo digo así. Yo soy del Bronx, Nueva York.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Open. Our last guest is a spoken word and visual artist who's performed on many platforms such as Dominican Writers Association, Voices in Power, and the New Eurekan Poets Cafe, one of my homes. And using inspiration from his life, he combines his love of poetry and battle rap to deliver a thought-provoking message. And joining us to share more, we welcome spoken word and visual artist Isaac is me.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. And thank you for the surprise of more apparel, right? And so it's important for us to acknowledge that, you as a visual artist are also doing apparel. And then there's the messaging. So first, I just want to say I'm so happy to get you on.
I'm
right? And it's important for us, I want to say, to share the conversation that we had prior to coming on air regarding this word, patience.
Yeah, patience, man. Me and the producer Yaz were going back and forth, and booked and busy is a beautiful thing. And I was booked and busy, and she was booked and busy with the guests at BronxNet, which is a beautiful thing. And I'm like, man, but you never argue with the universe's time.
Right.
When it's time, it's time.
Right.
And that's why I brought patience, because it's very fitting, And some of us struggle with patience. Sometimes we want it now, but
Right.
we have to embrace the unknown sometimes, you know?
And that's really a beautiful way for us to introduce you, and the way we operate,
Right.
right? Because I met you, I don't know, 2 months ago.
yes.
You came to see me.
Yes,
You came all the way to Brooklyn to see me.
yes,
To be present to me,
Yes.
to say I acknowledge you, which I appreciate, but I also want to know how to get it. But you made it your business to not just do the internet
No.
thing. You came and you showed up physically.
yeah, because, you know, and it's still difficult for me to do so because naturally people that know me in real life know that I'm very introverted. So doing all of this, spoken word, interviews, is still very new to me. But I felt like making a first impression in person there's nothing like it. I'm old school like that, you know? So
I love that. I love that. And I'm sharing this with our viewers so that they understand that we're here for it. We're here to
Yeah.
discover, and we're here to make sure that we go on record, and we're here to just make sure that we're following each other's paths in a way that we're empowering each other. And that leading us back to the word patience,
Right.
because once again, I opened up by saying we met a couple of months ago, and at that point, I forwarded your information to my producer,
Yeah,
Yaz,
yeah.
which is what you were discussing. It's
Right.
like how many times you guys had to go back and
Yeah.
forth to eventually get you on,
Yeah.
because our show is in demand, which is a beautiful thing.
For sure.
And we're grateful to everybody who wants to be on, and we're grateful to you, our viewers, for
Right.
staying with us, and your interest in our content.
Right.
And so that dance of you being booked, and then
Right.
being booked on the show, or
Right.
you being booked outside of the
Right,
show,
right.
and then having to move you around, and one could very easily get frustrated,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, but that wasn't the case for me because I've learned you don't argue with the universe, you embrace it, you know? And no is more of not yet. It's not a definite no. And I
Right.
know when the universe wanted me to be here, I would be here, and here I am.
And here you are.
You know?
Yeah. With your apparel that says patience.
Yes.
Now, what is this flower? Is this a
This is
sunflower?
is a sunflower.
Yeah, it's my favorite flower.
Okay,
by the
I did
way,
not know
on
that.
top
That's
of
awesome.
everything else.
That's
yes.
awesome, yeah.
Yeah, you know why it's my favorite flower?
I know.
Because it's the one flower that faces the sun. That's always looking for the sun.
There we
That's
go.
its job. It's just it twists to wherever the sun is shining.
That's awesome.
Isn't that profound?
Yeah, it's definitely profound.
So why is it on your tee with patience?
I created this brand in 2020 during the pandemic, and I have several other designs, but this one is probably one of my favorite ones just because it's very simple to direct, and who doesn't look like floral? You know,
Right.
you can't go wrong with it.
I agree.
You know, so that's what it was. And I have another one called Imagine. I didn't bring it because I couldn't find to print it. But the Imagine shirt is for my people, my creative people. The design is the word Imagine, and then there's a light bulb with a brain. You know,
Yeah. It's a good thing you're on the same episode as Unique, right?
yeah.
Look
Yeah,
at
we're
that.
gonna
I
talk.
love that.
Yeah, yeah.
I love that.
we
Yeah,
got-
yeah. I mean, we want to thank Unique for loaning us this to display,
Thank you,
right?
bro.
Right. But no, Unique that's the field that Unique is
For
in.
sure.
Screen printing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, screen printing. So there you go.
We're definitely gonna talk later,
Yeah,
brother.
I'm sure. Look, okay, he's pointing at Unique. He's
No
over
work.
there
Yes, sir.
in the audience.
Yeah,
But really, no, the idea, though, is that messaging. That seems to be today's theme.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And you've chosen the word patience, and not only for yourself, and thank you also for sharing that this came about throughout the pandemic. The pandemic continues to come up.
Right.
In a lot of my interviews,
Yeah.
in a lot of conversations, because the truth of the matter is that the pandemic has, for lack of a better word, awakened us in another form, in
Right.
another way,
Right.
and as artists, to actually display it in whatever form it presents itself,
Yeah.
right? Because this is one aspect, but you're really here to talk about your poetry and,
Right.
and your spoken word, and that as well, you come from a very transparent place, which for me is very brave.
Yeah. And it's not easy because I'm naturally introverted.
Right.
And as we grow to become who we want to become, we have to unlearn a lot of those things. Like our connection, me a couple years ago wouldn't have done that. Go in person to not sell myself, but make that introduction. I wouldn't have done it. But as I've gotten older, you learn and grow. You know, and that's what I've been doing, and it's been such a rewarding journey and experience so far, doing poetry for 2 years, you know?
Yeah, and then there's the content, right?
Yes.
That's the part that really gets me. Like, I'm looking forward to sharing with look, now you got me on court. I'm looking forward to sharing what it is that you present, because for somebody who self-identifies as an introvert, your stuff is very transparent.
Yeah, it's very scary, but it's very rewarding at the same time too. You know, all the time, every time I get off stage, there's always somebody like, hey, I felt what you said, it resonated with me, and that's what I do it for. It's for me, but also for the audience too, because sometimes we feel like our experience is just unique to us, but a lot of people share that. They're just not expressive in that sense.
Well, we're all related in some form, right?
Right.
And then there's the pandemic.
Right.
I go back to the pandemic because it's a certain period of time in our lives that we lived, we survived, that is going to be remembered and studied for hundreds of years to come. So I always say to people, anything that was created throughout the pandemic, it holds a deeper value.
For sure.
And then there's the growing from it, which
Yes.
is what we're discussing. Right? We're not suppressing it. We're not like brushing it off and boo-hooing over what we all had to endure, because as far as I'm concerned, we're owed 3 years. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I mean, like, when people ask me my age, I say 3 years
Right,
younger,
right.
even though I don't even say my age. But
Right.
I'm saying,
I got you. Yeah.
in my head, I'm 3 years younger because we were in timeout,
For sure.
right?
And that's where, let's circle this back, because this is where the poetry came into play too. Like, this was unison with the poetry. I was creating content not knowing it was spoken word. I was just saying, hey, pick your head up, because it was, lockdowns were crazy. Gyms were closed, everything was closed. People were losing their jobs, and I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? So for my sanity, I was posting up on Instagram different clips like, keep your head up, things are gonna get better, focus on your health, your mental health, physical health, spiritual health. And then I'm looking back at it and editing, I'm like, this is spoken word. There's no question about it. And that's where like the ball started rolling in 2020, and then finally 2023 is when I finally took the initiative to start performing in public.
And so how many pieces came out of the pandemic that you wrote, I'm saying?
Probably two, and then from there I was kind of like in my head like, I don't know if I'm gonna perform them. That's, public speaking is not my thing. And then my first open mic was a virtual one, Voices in Power, and then I went to a physical one later on that month in January 2023, and I'm like, wow, this is not so bad. And the ball started rolling, and from there I went a couple weeks ago, Mother's Day, to Philadelphia for the first time, to Dare to Listen. It's a platform over there, and it was a life-changing experience, you know. And it just, being on here with you is a life-changing experience. You know, this is the first interview of this kind, and it's just like mind-blowing. I'm pinching myself right now just to, you know. So it's about pushing yourself. Like, looking at this footage when it comes out, I'm not, it's gonna resonate with me, you know. But right now, it's just kind of like a dream, you know.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And isn't that wonderful to actually see your own process manifest itself?
It's a beautiful thing. It's rewarding. That's all I can say, because I compare a lot of what I've been through to now. It's like night and day. I'm a different person in the best way, you know?
All right. And so before we go, what are you going to be presenting today?
Vulnerable, which is my first piece.
Vulnerable.
Yeah.
See, this is what I'm talking about. That,
Yeah.
you know, that transparency, which I think we need to exercise a little more, especially in the day and age we're living in. And thank you so much for bringing it here to
No,
us.
thank you.
We're so happy to present you, Isaac, and the apparel. Wonderful message. Hope it resonates with somebody who may need to hear,
Yeah,
like, you know,
absolutely.
patience. And you guys stay tuned, because Isaac is going to perform for us after the break, and you don't want to miss it.
Toda mi gente de Bronx que levante la mano, que de aquí no nos vamos, que todo el mundo sepa que los iguanoy no murieron en vano, y el fuego que pasamos aquí lo llevamos en los huesos.
welcome back. Here now to perform Vulnerable. Let's give it up for Isaac Is Me.
It was amazing, or maybe it wasn't. Maybe sometimes the chapter you close is from a book you shouldn't even have opened. I don't know. On the emotional side, I wouldn't open up, and I shattered every fiber of love that they had for me. All of them ending up as casualties. Imagine me, convincing myself it was all them, never me, until that one person told me, you messing up, man, and put the mirror in front of me. It was hard to see. I wouldn't make eye contact for several days or weeks. Then it became apparent. It became apparent that the absentee parent was a void deep inside of me. If y'all feeling me, I would appreciate a few claps of snaps, no Thanos. More like Rambo, being seen by my traumas and insecurities that I would use as camo. Not to worry, I left my ammo at home. This world is ours for us to devour. It's us, never them, and for them it might get awkwardly chaotic when our voice is in power. Poem.
Short, sweet, to the point,
There we go.
and felt.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, Isaac, everyone. All right, once again, that was Isaac Is Me, and Isaac is going to be performing tonight at Voices in Power at the, excuse me, Isaac will be performing tonight. I got to do that whole closing again, guys. Sorry, right there. Isaac will be performing tonight at Voices in Power Poetry Open Mic Experience from 6:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the Brooklyn Monarch, located at 23 Meadow Street in Brooklyn. And for more information, check out Isaac on Instagram at IsaacIsMe_. And that is our show today, mi gente. And we have Adrian Reed joining me to close us out.
¿Te acuerdas cómo dice?
Yes.
Here we go.
Wait, no, yeah. Let me just say goodbye to everybody. Play me out. Yeah. All right. Thanks to all our guests for coming through, and to you, our viewers, for tuning in. If you missed any part of the show, you can check out this episode throughout the weekend and 24 hours a day at BronxNet.tv. I'm Rhina Valentin, and from all of us here at Open, may the universe provide paz, prosperity, y amor. Happy Pride and be love. Ahora sí.
Yo soy del Bronx, Nueva York. Yo soy del Bronx, Nueva York. Yo soy del Bronx, Nueva York. ¿Cómo dice? Hey, I'm from the Bronx, New York. I'm from the Bronx, New York. I'm from the Bronx, New York. And where I go, I'm one more time. Here we go. I'm from the Bronx, New York. I'm from the Bronx, New York. I'm from the Bronx, New York. And where I go, I'ma let them know that eso es.
Right.
XO, baby.
Keep going.
Somos del Bronx.
Yeah.
En español.
Do it.
Yo soy del Bronx, Nueva York. Yo soy del Bronx, Nueva York. Dale, Rhina.
Yo soy de
Eso. Y donde vaya se lo digo así.
y donde vaya.
There we go.